1, 2, 3.
Have a time to spare, please join.
Thank you so much.
Today we are going to be showing the film Crossings, which is a film about a delegation of women peacemakers who crossed the DMZ. They first went to North Korea, and it was like a really challenging process to organize a visit like this. They had a peace conference with North Korean women who want to see the Korean War ended, and then they went across the DMZ into South Korea to do the same with South Korean women. So this film explains that journey and also gives a really great background on the Korean War. So I know many of you already know a lot about it, but we'll get to learn more today. Before we have some questions and answers, let's come up to the front and take a group photo.
As a daughter of South Korean immigrants, I grew up being told stories about our homeland.
This is Korea, a nation divided at the end of World War II at the 38th parallel.
These stories made us fear North Korea, and it was something that I never questioned until much later.
More than 60 years after the ceasefire, North and South Korea and the U.S. are still technically at war.
I decided I needed to meet the people that were supposed to be my enemy. And that's when I started to understand the legacy of a war that never ended.
Breaking now in North Korea, women from around the world are preparing to make a demonstration for peace.
A prominent women's activist group is planning a symbolic and controversial walk across the demilitarized zone.
Women are disproportionately impacted by war and violence. And it's time to have a seat at the table.
Peace! A lot of people say it was naive and you cannot do this.
Several hundred people are here to counter-protest against us. Anyone who calls on engagement with North Korea, they've been maligned.
If there's not agreement between the two militaries, the government does not feel that our safety would be assured.
What are we doing that is so threatening?
People think that the only way North Korea can be dealt with is to eliminate it. There is an image that there aren't real people and that they must be destroyed.
시민들 같은 경우는 마음의 분단심이라고 하나요? 마음의 38선들이 있어요, 사실은.
This artificial boundary has kept Korean people separated.
So thank you, students, for coming today. And we've discussed in our class that the Korean War was one of those examples when the U.S. went to war, even though Congress didn't declare a war. And we've talked about how there are 28,000 U.S. troops still in Korea. So what we're going to hear today is the other side of that story that we haven't heard, how that plays out when you have a war that never ended.
Sure. So the film is a group of 30 women who crossed the DMZ in 2015, and the leading organization that led the 30 women activists is my organization, Women Cross DMZ. So we have several different agendas. We do education broadly in the public, to the public that Korean War has not ended. It only ended in mere armistice, and we still need to end the war.
Paradigm, because on the one hand, both sides say they want peace, but on the other hand, neither side is really doing anything to help themselves get there.
Like who you are, like you watch that, you hear stories, like they said, like you keep hearing stories of women in war and children and what happens and how that follows them, and that's like what was really emotional to me. And it makes you want to like, that's a terrible thing, it makes you want to like stand up for it. And so I thought that their whole movement was it moved me. So if that was the goal of their documentary, I thought it was good.
The devotion of the women in this documentary and just their continued work.
So I'm just grateful that you all came out today, and we will be in touch with a few of the resources that Echo mentioned. Let's give her one more round of applause. And I wish you all a really great day. Thanks for being here.